Hello you lovely people, and welcome back to my channel Cook with Joy. For today's video I'm sharing another recipe with you, and if you've been following my channel for a long time, last fall I did share some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins with you. Well, I was going to share that exact same recipe this year, but I decided to tweak that recipe, make it a little bit different, make it more like a dessert, and I'm going to be making chocolate chip pumpkin muffins. And I'm also going to be making a cinnamon buttercream icing to add on top to make it more of a dessert for after dinner. So let me show you everything that goes into these muffins and we'll get started. For this recipe, you will need some oat flour, and I just go ahead and use my gluten-free oats and make it into oat flour by just throwing it in a blender. So that's what I have here. You will need 1 cup of those. You will need 1 cup of gluten-free flour. Really, if you don't need to be gluten-free, I'm sure you could use regular flour. And then you will also need a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. You will need 1/3 a cup of maple syrup. That's what's in that container. And then 1/4 a cup of coconut oil. I keep my coconut oil in this smaller jar because we buy it from Costco. And then you will also need 1 can of pumpkin puree. And actually in the recipe, what it calls for is also a 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce, but unfortunately I didn't realize I don't have that on hand right now. And this happens to me from time to time, and so instead I just add 1 banana, like 1 kind of ripened banana in place of that applesauce. So I can leave both versions in my description box in the recipe. I'll make sure that I have that typed out for you with all the ingredients and instructions. And then moving on, we also need some baking soda. We need 2 teaspoons of that. And then we do need a variety of spices for this one. We need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then 1/4 a teaspoon each nutmeg, cloves, and ginger. We will also need 1/3 a cup of mini chocolate chips, and hopefully that's 1/3. We're gonna use the rest of those today. And I'll show you a little bit later what we will need for the icing, but let's start with these muffins. Honestly, I like to keep it simple around here, so what I do when I make these muffins is I mix all of the dry ingredients, except for the chocolate chips, all of the dry ingredients together, incorporate that really well, and then I'll add in the wet ingredients one at a time and mix that up and then fold in the chocolate chips. So it's really simple. I don't like to have more dishes dirty than necessary, so this is for me just a 1 bowl muffin recipe. So with that said, let's get to work on these muffins. Okay, now we're going to put these muffins in a preheated oven to 350 degrees, and these actually made a little bit more than a dozen, so I had to grab my other muffin pan. It made 3 extra, so apparently this recipe makes 15. So there you have it, but let's get these in the oven. Okay, next I'm gonna show you how I'm going to make the icing for these muffins. Or is it frosting? I don't know. Icing, frosting, let me know down in the comments if there's actually a difference between the two, because I don't know for sure. But either way, I'm going to make an icing or a frosting for these muffins, and let me show you what goes into this icing. Okay, before I show you these ingredients, can I just ask you, have you all seen the new KitchenAid mixer put out by Williams in Sonoma? It is the most gorgeous KitchenAid mixer. It has a wood bowl, and then the top is like this beautiful green color. I'm so jealous. I got this one for free on Buy Nothing. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to show you what is gonna go into this icing. So you will need 1/2 a cup of vegan butter. If you do regular butter, you could do that. I'm making these vegan, so I'm using vegan butter, or 1 stick. 1/2 cup is 1 stick. And then you will also need 2 cups of powdered sugar, or you might call it icing sugar. I don't know. I call it powdered sugar. And then you will also need 1 tablespoon of milk, 1/2 a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I am going to spice this up literally with some cinnamon. I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of cinnamon in there as well. Okay, so with icing, the basic instructions are you want to kind of whip up your butter to get that nice and creamy, and then you're going to slowly add in the powdered sugar. I know a lot of people sift their powdered sugar. I don't go through that step. Maybe I should. I don't actually even own a sifter, so there's that. So then you just mix that all up until it's creamy, and then you're gonna add in your milk and your vanilla, and lastly I'll add in the cinnamon and just mix that in as well. So let's get to work on making this icing. Okay, I decided to just ice a handful of them, and we'll just ice them as we go. I think they'll keep better that way. But I did want to, of course, do a taste test with you of this delicious chocolate chip pumpkin muffin with cinnamon buttercream icing. Oh my goodness, so good. Okay, you lovely people, that is all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I made these chocolate chip pumpkin muffins with buttercream cinnamon icing. Let me know down in the comments if you are going to give them a try, and as always, I will be sure to have the recipe along with the instructions down in my description box below so that you can follow along. Thank you so much for watching my video today, and thanks for watching all the way until the end. I will see you next time. Bye.